A story of 5 daughters, really quick, 5 daughters, sisters who walked in purpose and pioneered a pathway for women to claim inheritance and become landowners. You see, in Numbers chapter 27, verses 1 through 13, is a story of 5 daughters of Zelophehad who lived during the transition of a nation who was coming out of Egypt, who was coming out of bondage, and who was going towards the promised land. You see, God had told Moses to lead them out, and he had a promise for them. A whole nation. He said, I have a land for you that's flowing with milk and honey. That their inheritance was just on the other side of the river. During this time in history, inheritance only passed through the sons. It was to preserve family name, fathers, and lineage. This was not just a good idea. It was law. This was law. Come on, tell somebody this was law. But there were 5 daughters who believed so much in the promise of God that they stood and said, that's my inheritance. They positioned themselves to claim that inheritance. You see, in Numbers chapter 27, it tells you the story. Go ahead and read it. It says they stood before Moses, Eleazar the priest, and all the leaders of the assembly by the door of the tent of meeting. Come on, they stood by the door. And that position meant that they're not taking no for an answer. And Moses took their case and he took it to the Lord. And the Lord says what they said is true. What God did that day changed. He changed the rules for 5 daughters who said enough is enough. He changed the rules for 5 daughters who said that's my inheritance. Come on. They broke through barriers that kept them from their inheritance. And little did they know that they would be the ones to pioneer pathways for women who came after them. Come on, this is the Numbers we're talking about. You might have heard an amazing woman who was kind of well off, and she actually built a room for the prophet Elisha. She had land, unheard of at the time because women were not able to own land. Owning land meant that you owned your name. Okay. This was much like my story. See, my parents came from the island of Samoa in the South Pacific. Maybe you don't know a lot about Samoa.